Hey, math friends. So our learning target today is that I can find the circumference of the circle. And again, you can watch that circle song if you want. I'm just not able to play both with my mic. So yesterday we talked about area. Today we're going to talk about circumference. Another word for circumference is the perimeter. And so you guys are pretty good with perimeter from elementary school when you talk about the perimeter of a rectangle, or you would talk about putting up a fence around something. So that same idea, but for circles. So perimeter. Of course, we have to change it and make it a fancy name called circumference. So the circumference of the circle is really what we like to refer to as kind of the crust of the pizza. That frosting or the on a cookie cake or the crust of the pizza. Not the space inside, the, the distance around the circle. So when I need a circumference, I'll just use pi d is the formula. So yesterday we talked about in the circle song, you learned that area of a circle. Pi r squared sounds like area to me. When I need a circumference, I'll just use pi d. No judgment on the singing. I did get cut from choir. That's a whole nother lesson. It's so depressing. So circumference, distance around the circle, is measured by, boom, pi times d. Now we talked about pi. The approximation for pi is 3.14. So circumference today. How much distance around this bike tire, perhaps? How much tread is that, or how much, tread is on there? Or how much crust is on the pizza, or how much frosting is on the cookie cake? So when I need a circumference, I'll just use pi d, pi times d. So we approximated yesterday, pi is 3.14. And the distance across the circle is known as the diameter. Awesomeness. That's available to us on this first problem of today. So it is 18. The diameter is 18. So 3.14 times 18. Type it in, type it in, type it in, type it in. Do it, do it, do it, do it. You should be pausing the video and making sure that you're doing that at your pace. It would be 56.52 centimeters. Now, this is not squared because we're not talking about square space. We're talking about a distance, just a distance around something. So it's to the first power, just the first power, just centimeters. Cool. That's the distance around that circle known as the circumference. When you talk about circles, it's really just like a perimeter. Boom. Second problem. Now pause video at any point when I am going too fast or you need to type something in. Next problem. This is 6. That's the distance from center to what we call the rim. 6 is the radius. So therefore 6 and a 6 would be the diameter. When I need a circumference, I'll just use pi d. Boom. So that gives us 3.14 times the distance across then would be a 6 plus a 6 is a 12. It's a 12. That is supposed to say 12. So we get 3.14 times the distance across, which is 12. 3.14 times 12. Type it in, type it in, type it in, type it in. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. The distance across this circle that has a radius of 6. I'm going to erase that so we can see that it was a radius. It was a radius. Gives me 37.68. The unit on that is feet. Feet. I'm not sure why I said it like that. That is the distance around that circle, 37.68. The circumference. Yay! Coolio. Looks like we have 7 problems left and we out of here. Circumference. Same exact pictures that we had when we talked area. But now we're not talking about the space inside, we're talking about the distance around. So same pictures from yesterday's lesson, but we're asking a different question. So when we talk about this problem here, we know that the radius is 3. The radius is. So the diameter is really 3 plus 3 across. When I need a circumference, I'll just use pi d. So that's 3.14 times the distance across. 3 plus 3 is 6. So the diameter this time is 6. So we got a 3.14 times the diameter. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. So that's 3.14 times 6. Gives me 18.84 4 unit is centimeters. That's the distance around the perimeter, the distance around known as the circumference. So the circumference is equal to 18.84 centimeters. Coolio. Here we go, here we go, here we go. So the next problem would be this problem here. The diameter is 24. The distance across is 24, which means it's really like a 12 plus a 12 all the way across. Now, circumference is measured by, when I need a circumference, I'll just use pi d. Boom. So we go 3.14 is the approximation for pi, multiplied by the diameter, the distance across, which is 24. All of that is 24. Type it in, type it in, type it in. So we get 3.14 times 24. We get 75.36, and the unit on that is inches. That is the distance around that circle. 75.36 inches circumference. Yay! Okay, friends. Let's talk about this problem right here. It's a word problem. So exciting. It says the diameter. Boom. Stop. Diameter. That right there, my friends, is called the diameter of a bicycle tire is 26 inches. Let's label. That's diameter, 26 inches. Cool. That's just the first sentence. We have another sentence to read. Find the circumference of this bicycle tire. Use 3.14 for pi. Okay, we can do that. It's really like a 13 plus a 13. But we really just need the diameter. When I need a circumference, I'll just use pi d, circumference. So that's 3.14, times the diameter, joop, 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 times 26. So we go 3.14 times that diameter. 3.14 times the diameter is 81.64 unit inches. That is the distance around that bike tire. The distance around the bike tire. So when we do one complete rotation on a bike tire, we will have traveled 81.64 inches in one complete rotation of a bike tire. Pause video at any point. If I'm going too fast, which I know I talk fast, so just push pause or rewind it when you're confused or having a tough time. The good news is we only have 4 problems left. Yay! All right. These should look familiar to you because we did those yesterday. Circumference, the distance around. Cool. So this is a radius. So that's really going to become a 5 plus a 5 all the way across. So when I need a circumference, I'll just use pi d. So that gives me 3.14 times the distance across is 10. I can do this one in my head because we're multiplying by 10. So I could do this one in my head. So we multiply that by 10, the diameter, we get 31.4 inches is the distance around that circle. You see how I did that when I multiplied by 10? That was super fun. All right, let's keep going here. Here we go, here we go, here we go. This is the diameter. It's given in decimal as a decimal of 4.8, which means the radius is 2.4 and another 2.4 to get across there. When I need a circumference, I'll just use pi d. Cool. So we get 3.14 times the diameter across is 4.8. So we actually need that number that's going across. We need that 4.8. Type it in, type it in, type it in, type it in, type it in. Do it, do it, do it. Do it, do it, do it. And we get 15.07. Cut it off in your calculator. Centimeters is the distance around that circle. So super fabulous. That is circumference. We do have 2 more, but I say nah, we're not going to do it. So therefore, our lesson for today, circles. When you have a circle, right, we have these things called radius. Cool. We have this thing called the diameter. Super fun. 2 radiuses equal a diameter. Now, one thing you can do is you can find the area of the circle. Cool. But you also can find the circumference of a circle. So when you find the area of a circle, we learned a few days ago that pi r squared sounds like area to me. So you actually need the radius to do that. Or another measurement that we do is the circumference, also known as the perimeter. When I need a circumference, I'll just use pi d. Now we need that diameter. So we need the radius for this formula. We need the diameter for this formula. And of course, we can work it either way because we know 2 radiuses equal a diameter. Isn't that just the best news ever? All right, guys, so that is the summary of how you find the circumference of a circle. It is the same as the perimeter. Have a glorious night.